Good day, it's January 13th, 2025. We're on the second Monday of the year. I'm Sam Buban. Welcome to The Pulse.
And I'm Joe Buban. Welcome to this edition.
A catastrophic wildfire raged in Pacific Palisades, California, a suburban city outside Los Angeles and part of the Los Angeles County. It is about 21 miles north of downtown Los Angeles. Some emergency response and rescue workers described the scene at the fire as apocalyptic. According to local media outlets, the Pacific Palisade fire had burned 3,000 acres, about 1,500 hectares, with 90% of the homes and commercial properties in the city reduced to ashes and rubbles. Although the start of the fire is still under investigation by LA County Fire Department, the massive fire took a life of its own as it was fueled by high wind and dry environment. Strong winds going as intense at 70 miles per hour was fanning the flames that helped it spread fast in a short period of time. As December to March is the normal prevalence of the so-called Santa Ana wind, a name they gave the Los Angeles County area wind phenomenon. The physics of the Santa Ana wind is that strong wind coming from the Pacific coast bounces back from Mount Balde to the Los Angeles Valley. The Pacific Palisades fire is considered one of the most expensive fires in the U.S. The loss to public and private property is now estimated at $51 billion in a place where the average price of a home is $1.5 million. Here are some of the video footage from the Pacific Palisades fire.
Yeah, you're taking a live look at the Palisades fire, which is continuing to creep its way through the Santa Monica Mountains, David. You can see we're basically in between the San Fernando Valley and Brentwood. Brentwood to the south, obviously, and you can see these ridge lines lighting up as LA County Fire continues nighttime operations. Several helicopters patrolling the area and dropping water repeatedly over the main head of this fire, basically just trying to tamp down some of the major flare-ups so it doesn't send too many loose embers out over the valley or over the basin. And right now you can see that fire still lighting up the night sky with that glow, very visible from both the LA side or the city side as well as the San Fernando Valley side. Really brilliant flames coming from just to the west of the 405.
There are two other wildfires that raged in Los Angeles County. The Eaton fire near Pasadena and Altadena, in which continued to spread, and the Hurst fire in the Silmar, San Fernando area of Los Angeles. The combined burned area now has reached 31,000 acres, about 14,000 hectares. In the Eaton fire, most of the areas in the hillsides along the Pasadena area, stretching all the way to the city of Monrovia and to the vicinity of San Dimas City, has been affected. In the three wildfires combined, already more than 200,000 homes and businesses were destroyed. But more than 400,000 homes and businesses are without electricity countywide. Los Angeles City Mayor Karen Bass has already declared Los Angeles a disaster area due to the catastrophic wildfires.
Meanwhile, as the fire was raging during the first 24 hours, California Governor Gavin Newsom was able to secure from President Joe Biden a presidential disaster declaration to support ongoing response efforts related to the major wildfires in Los Angeles County. The governor and the president, who flew in from Washington, were briefed of the situation by local leaders at a Santa Monica fire station. A presidential disaster declaration makes available federal assistance, funding to help state, local governments, and the tribes cover emergency response costs, and includes individual assistance programs for affected citizens and businesses. Such assistance includes assistance funds for temporary accommodation and financial assistance for properties destroyed. FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, is the government organization tasked with the distribution and administration of government funds for disaster relief.
In North Carolina, the Republican-controlled state Supreme Court on Wednesday last week blocked the state election board from certifying the win of a Democrat who won the election for justice of the state Supreme Court. For those who are watching us from the Philippines and other parts of the world, all state judges from municipal court all the way to the state Supreme Court are elected offices. The elections are labeled as non-partisan position, but candidates can tell their voters if asked whether they are registered Republicans or Democrats. Democratic leaders in North Carolina highly criticized the move, saying the state Supreme Court is trying to engineer a way to deny the winner of assuming the post and denying the voters of their choice of a Supreme Court member. North Carolina Republicans are trying to keep out a liberal judge from joining the state Supreme Court, which could tip the balance on cases involving women's rights to abortion and other rights that had been taken away by Republican-led legislatures and other controversial legislations favoring Christian religion. Some voters describe this as stealing their votes, referring to the current state Supreme Court of North Carolina. The court will decide in coming weeks whether or not to throw out tens of thousands of votes, thereby overturning the result of the Democratic incumbent justice's victory. This is what the Democrats describe as engineering a way to deny the people's votes in the state Supreme Court race.
Last year's election, the states of Arizona and Nevada voted on similar ballot measures. Majority of people in both states voted yes on the right to have an abortion. Both states had proposition or questions on ranked choice voting. While Nevada had the proposition like question number 3, top 5 ranked choice voting, opens primaries, and whoever makes it to the top 5 on the primary will go to the general elections. Arizona had similar proposition like Proposition 140, which was an open primaries. Both states voted no on those ballot measures and did not get passed. Arizona also voted no on Proposition 133, which requires partisan primaries for party offices and prohibit primary elections such as top 2 or top 5 primaries. Here are some new laws that took effect in Arizona this year are: minimum wage will be $14.50, one of the highest minimum wages in the country. Local law enforcement instead of federal law enforcement will take it on their hands to arrest people crossing the border of the state of Arizona from Mexico as the result of the Proposition 314 being passed. Property owners will stop collecting residential rental tax in a period of 30 or more days. We will take a commercial break. Please stay tuned.
Pure Medical Equipment provides top-notch quality medical supply equipment. Whether to rent or buy, Pure Medical Equipment and Supplies has it all.
Pure Medical Equipment is committed to serve and give back to Southern Nevada.
We deliver medical supplies and rentals to your door.
From the Telly Award-winning creator of Love and Karma, Legacy, and Ultra Feminist. Underneath the bright neon lights of Sin City where fortunes are won and lost in an instant, and the truth can be a bit hazy. Join Elena, a hardworking single mother, her hot-headed son Miguel, and Gabriel, a Filipino pop star on the brink of international stardom, as they embark on a journey of self-discovery, love, and the courage to find one's voice and speak the truth. Made to Shine, coming soon, presented by FilAmTV Network, written and directed by Giovanni Espiritu.
To keep updated or for more information, visit filamtv.us/made to shine or scan the QR code to be added to the email list for updates and upcoming opportunities to be part of the show. Executive produced by Sam Buban and Esmeralda Padilla Gould.
Welcome back to the polls. Two of the most powerful unions in the United States will be rejoining forces after over 20 years of separation. The Service Employees International Union, or better known as SEIU, will be joining forces with the American Federation of Labor and Congress of Industrial Organizations, also known as AFL-CIO. The two labor organizations will be consolidating power ahead of Donald Trump's presidency. AFL-CIO Chair Liz Schuler and SEIU Chair April Verrett have highlighted that both will be more powerful joining together and aiming for a stronger pro-labor movement in response to Trump's anti-labor aggression, and that the timing is now on an affirmation that both organizations are doing the right thing. SEIU position to merge with AFL-CIO, among several reasons, is that about half of the workforce who are members of the union has dependents who rely both on Medicare and Medicaid, and the Republican agenda to cut on health insurance programs, and both legal and undocumented immigrants who are part of the unions will also be affected by such policies under Trump. They are also retrenching their forces and efforts, as Trump has been known as anti-union, and especially that incoming president has nominated into cabinet positions billionaires who are anti-union like Elon Musk.
The Democratic ranking member of the Committee on Intelligence of the U.S. Senate, Senator Mark Warner of Virginia, is indicating he will not agree to a start of confirmation hearing of Donald Trump's nominee for Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, until the committee has received the FBI background check, ethics disclosure, or a pre-hearing questionnaire. Gabbard, who is a former Democratic Congresswoman from Hawaii, who later left the Democratic Party, is believed by many in Washington as an asset of Russia, and that she is compromised to be holding such a highly important position of coordinating all intelligence efforts of the United States. Senator Mark Warner said that after a visit to his office by Tulsi Gabbard, he had questions coming in and have questions coming out regarding the nominee.
In our world news, Al Jazeera reported rise in combat losses in Ukraine as it plans a fresh onslaught in Kursk, Russia. In an attempt to maintain control of the captured area, Ukrainian forces had been conducting counteroffensives in Kursk as Moscow soldiers continue to advance well into eastern Ukraine. The Ukrainian military has launched a fresh offensive in the Kursk area of Russia. In a statement released on Sunday, the Russian Ministry of Defense stated that Ukrainian soldiers had been launching additional attacks as part of their incursion into Russia, which started in an unexpected attack in August last year. In a Telegram post, senior officials Andrei Kovalenko of Ukraine National Security and Defense Council seemed to confirm the operation. The Russians are extremely worried about the Kursk regions. They are caught off guard when they are attacked on several fronts, Kovalenko said. According to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's office chief, Andrei Yermak, the strike was successful. He wrote on Sunday, Kursk regions, good news, Russia is getting what it deserves. As reported in Russian media, and Russian Defense Ministry stated that a Ukrainian counterattack involving 2 tanks, a barrier vehicle, and 12 armored combat vehicles carrying soldiers en route to the Russian hamlet of Berdin started early on Sunday. Russian government stated the majority of the forces destroyed and published aerial footages showing what it claimed as a drone carrying explosives destroying a Ukrainian military unit, self-propelled artillery unit in Kursk. According to Putin's government, during the course of the previous day, its soldiers killed 430 Ukrainian military personnel. Since the offensive began in August, Ukraine has lost almost 49,000 personnel in Kursk, along with 273 tanks, 44 rocket launch systems, and hundreds of other vehicles and weapons, according to the Russian military. Numbers that could not be confirmed by Ukraine. But Ukraine Defense Ministry said Russia lost 430,000 troops in 2024, and North Korean troops sent to Kursk have recently suffered significant losses on the Russian front lines. Although they have not been able to completely stop the attack, Russian forces had been progressively driving Ukrainian military out of areas they have taken over in Kursk. We are going to take a break. Please stay with us.
Pure Medical Equipment provides top-notch quality medical supply equipment. Whether to rent or buy, Pure Medical Equipment and Supplies has it all.
Pure Medical Equipment is committed to serve and give back to Southern Nevada.
We deliver medical supplies and rentals to your door.
From the Telly Award-winning creator of Love and Karma, Legacy, and Ultra Feminist. Underneath the bright neon lights of Sin City, where fortunes are won and lost in an instant, and the truth can be a bit hazy. Join Elena, a hardworking single mother, her hot-headed son Miguel, and Gabriel, a Filipino pop star on the brink of international stardom, as they embark on a journey of self-discovery, love, and the courage to find one's voice and speak the truth. Made to Shine, coming soon, presented by FilAmTV Network, written and directed by Giovanni Espiritu.
To keep updated or for more information, visit filmtv.us/made to shine or scan the QR code to be added to the email list for updates and upcoming opportunities to be part of the show. Executive produced by Sam Buban and Esmeralda Padilla Gould.
Welcome back to The Pulse. In the Eastern European country of Montenegro, thousands demonstrated to call for the removal of senior security officials in response to a horrific mass shooting, according to a report by the Associated Press. In response to the massacre earlier this week claimed the lives of 12 people, including 2 children, thousands of people demonstrated in Montenegro on Sunday, calling for the resignations of top security officials. Protesters outside the Interior Ministry building in the capital, Podgorica, chanted "Resignation" and "Killers," calling for the resignation of Deputy Prime Minister for Security and Defense, Alexa Besic, and Interior Minister Danilo Saranovic. The crowd was informed by Mila Parovic of a student-led organization that assisted in planning the event that innocent people perished while they were on duty. At a gathering in Cetinje, the medieval capital of Montenegro, where the shooting occurred on Wednesday, hundreds of people observed a 12-minute of silence in memory of the 12 deceased. In less than 3 years, this was the town's second such massacre. Since the initial tragedy in August 2022, many Cetinje and other Montenegrins feel that authorities have not done enough to improve security and have mishandled the situation. The shooting on Wednesday last week was the consequence of a fight in a pub. After going home to retrieve his firearm, a 45-year-old local guy returned to the tavern and started shooting. Before taking his own life, he murdered 4 people there and 8 more at different places. Concerns on the degree of violence in the politically divided Montenegro society were heightened by the massacre. It also called into question whether public institutions were prepared to address issues like gun ownership. Despite the fact that the shooter, Ako Martinovic, had a violent criminal record and a criminal firearms possession conviction, the police have stated that the shooting was unpredictably and unavoidably carried out. Most of his victims were family members and friends. In order to combat the proliferation of illegal firearms in the 620,000-person Balkan nation, Montenegrin authorities promptly introduced a new stringent gun law along with other severe measures.
In Central Africa, rebels backed by Rwanda took control of the crucial town in the Democratic Republic of Congo in a BBC report. Several sources state that the town of Masisi in the eastern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo has been taken by rebel fighters supported by Rwanda. In many days, the M23 gang has taken control of the 2 towns in the mineral-rich province of North Kivu. Since 2021, the armed gang has seized control of large areas of the Democratic Republic of Congo, causing hundreds of thousands of people to leave their homes. Angola has been trying to mediate negotiations between Paul Kagame, the president of Rwanda, and Felix Tshisekedi. However, this failed last month. North Kivu Provincial Assembly member Alexis Buhanga told Associated Free Press News Agency that we are devastated to hear about the M23's capture of Masisi Center. According to him, this plunges the territory into a serious humanitarian crisis, and he called on the government to increase the army's capabilities in the area. According to one local, the M23 spoke with the town's residents and declared that they had come to liberate the country, according to the Associated Free Press. But locals know that the M23 is simply a group of marauding armed gang. Regarding the town's loss, the Congolese government has not yet responded. The number of individuals killed in the conflict between M23 and pro-government militias, and the army is still unknown. Sunday is said to be a quiet day in the town. The regional capital, also named Masisi, is home to roughly 40,000 people, approximately 80 kilometers or 50 miles north of Goma, the provincial seat of North Kivu, which the M23 briefly controlled in 2012. Katali, a nearby town, was taken by M23 last Friday. There were concerns that M23 would attack the roughly 2 million person metropolitan area of Goma once more, like last year. But after that, there was a pause in combat until it started up again in early December. Rwanda did not refute a United Nations report in July that claimed it had over 4,000 soldiers fighting alongside the M23 in the Democratic Republic of Congo. We will leave it at that until next week. We thank you for watching. I'm Sam Buban.
And I'm Joe Buban. Thank you and God bless your week.